Listen to me, and listen close. I'm not here to give you a warm hug or tell you that everything's gonna be alright. That's what losers say to each other so they can feel better about staying at the bottom. I'm here to talk about the biggest drug on the streets today. It ain't pills, it ain't smoke, it ain't even the phone in your pocket. It's a word, a simple 7-letter word that's been killing more dreams than poverty, war, or disease ever could. Tomorrow. Think about it. How many times have you looked in the mirror, hated what you saw, and then whispered that sweet little lie to yourself? I'll start Monday. I'll get to the gym tomorrow. I'll start that business when I'm less tired. Let's keep it 100. Tomorrow is where your potential goes to die. It's a ghost town. It's a fantasy land where you're finally the man you want to be, but you never actually have to do the work to get there. You use tomorrow as a get-out-of-jail-free card. You've become a professional at making promises to a version of yourself that doesn't even exist yet. The truth! You're scared! You're terrified of the now! Because now requires sweat! Now requires you to look like a fool while you learn! Now is uncomfortable! So you run to tomorrow! Because it's safe! It's warm! It's comfortable! But let me tell you something. Comfort is a slow death. It's like sitting in a warm bath while someone slowly drains your blood. You don't even notice you're dying until it's too late. You see, the human brain is wired for survival, not for greatness. Your brain wants you to stay on that couch because it's safe. It thinks that by avoiding the work, it's saving energy for a hunt that's never coming. You are fighting your own biology every time you try to level up, and tomorrow is the white flag you wave to surrender. You're telling your survival instincts, you win, I'll stay small for one more day. But one day becomes a week becomes a year, and a year becomes a life of what-ifs. Why do you do it? Why do you keep lying to the person you're supposed to care about most? In America, we're obsessed with the fresh start. We love the idea of the new year, the new month, the new week. We think a calendar change is gonna magically give us balls. Newsflash, it won't. If you're a quitter on Sunday, you're gonna be a quitter on Monday. The calendar doesn't change the man changes the calendar. Let's talk about the science of this lie. Psychologists call it active procrastination. You spend all day researching the best workout plan, buying the fancy supplements, and watching how-to videos. You feel productive. You feel like you're moving, but you haven't lifted a single damn weight. You're just masturbating your ego with the idea of progress. You're preparing to start. You're getting ready to get ready. It's a trap. While you're sitting there planning the perfect start, someone out there with half your talent is outworking you because they understood one thing. Done is better than perfect. You're waiting for the stars to align. You're waiting for the vibes to be right. You're waiting for your bank account to look a certain way. Stop it. That's just your ego trying to protect you from the possibility of failing. But guess what? You're already failing. By doing nothing, you've already lost. You're just too delusional to admit it. Think about the sheer arrogance of saying, I'll do it tomorrow. You are assuming you'll have the health, the opportunity, and the breath in your lungs to even see tomorrow. You are disrespecting the thousands of people who went to sleep last night and didn't wake up today. They would give anything for the now that you are currently throwing in the trash. You aren't just lazy. You're ungrateful. You're spitting in the face of life itself by pretending your time is infinite. Look at the people around you. Look at your crew. Are they pushers or are they anchors? Most people are anchors. They love it when you say tomorrow because it makes them feel better about their own stagnation. When you say, man, I'm gonna start that hustle next month, they nod and say, yeah, me too. We deserve a break today. That's a death pact. You are all agreeing to be average together. You're all sitting in a sinking boat, complaining about the water, but refusing to grab a bucket. The street culture of chilling is a poison. Chilling is for people who have already conquered their world. Have you conquered yours? If you don't have the bank account you want, the body you want, or the respect you want, what the hell are you chilling for? Society wants you to wait. The system loves a man who waits. A man who waits is a man who consumes. You're sitting there watching ads, buying things you don't need with money you don't have, all to impress people you don't like, while your dreams are rotting in the tomorrow pile. They want you distracted. They want you thinking that one day it will just happen for you, like it's a lottery. Let me tell you the secret. There is no lottery for greatness. There is only a toll booth, and the toll is paid in nows. Every successful person you admire is just someone who decided that today was more important than their comfort. They stopped hanging out with the tomorrow crowd and started hanging out with the at 4 a.m. crowd. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 people are all waiting for tomorrow, you're already dead in the water. Let's talk about the cost. Everything has a price tag in this life, and the price of tomorrow is your life. I'm not being dramatic, I'm being literal. Every time you push a goal back, you aren't just delaying success. You're shortening the amount of time you get to live as a winner. If you wait 5 years to get your life together, that's 5 years you'll never get back. 5 years of being a could have been. Think about your parents. Think about the people who look up to you, or the people who should look up to you. Are you really okay with them seeing you settle for later? What happens when later never comes? We all think we're gonna live forever. We move like we have 500 years on the clock. You don't. You've got a window, and that window is slamming shut every single second you spend scrolling, doubting and procrastinating in the streets. We say time is money, but that's a lie. Time is way more valuable than money. You can always make another dollar. You can't make another minute. When you say I'll do it tomorrow, you're gambling with the only currency that actually matters. And you're gambling it on a day that isn't even guaranteed to show up. Imagine you're on your deathbed. You're 80 years old, and the ghost of the man you could have been stands next to your bed. He's got the body you wanted. He's got the wealth you wanted. He's got the respect you craved. He traveled the places you only saw on a screen, and he looks at you with pity. He doesn't even look at you with anger, just pity. And he whispers, I was right here. I was inside you the whole time. But you traded me for a few more hours of sleep and a few more years of later. How does that feel? That's the real hell. Not fire and brimstone, but the realization of what you could have been if you just had the guts to start. So, how do we fix this? How do we kill this tomorrow demon? First, you gotta stop being so soft on yourself. Stop accepting your own excuses. In America, we've become a nation of feelings. I don't feel like it. I'm not in the right headspace. Who cares? Do you think the man who has to feed his family in a war zone feels like going out? He goes because he has to. You need to create that same level of urgency in your own life. You need to develop a do-it-now obsession. I don't care if it's 11 p.m. and you're exhausted. If you said you were gonna read 10 pages, read them. If you said you were gonna hit the gym, go do some push-ups until your chest burns. You need to prove to your brain that you are the boss, not your impulses. The tomorrow trap is built on the idea that you'll feel more motivated in the future. Guess what? You won't. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are for kids. Men don't operate on feelings. Men operate on standards. A standard is something you do, regardless of how you feel. It's a non-negotiable. If your standard is, I work out every day, then you work out when you're sick, when you're sad, and when you're busy. When you feel that urge to put something off, that's your inner coward talking. That's the part of you that wants you to stay small. That's the part of you that's okay with you being average. You need to identify that voice. Don't just ignore it. Confront it. Say, I see you, you weak son of a bitch, but we're doing this anyway. Every time you do something you don't want to do, you get stronger. Every time you do it now instead of later, you build a brick in the wall of your character. Eventually, you become a man who is unrecognizable. You become a man of action. And in this world, the men of action eat the men of tomorrow for breakfast. They don't just win, they dominate. Look, the world doesn't care about your intentions. The world doesn't give a damn what you plan to do. History only remembers what you did. There are no monuments for people who almost started. There are no history books dedicated to the guys with great potential who waited for the right time. Nobody is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you $1 million and a six-pack because you had a great idea that you never executed. The universe doesn't reward potential. It rewards output. It rewards the man who is willing to get his hands dirty while everyone else is talking about the plan. Tomorrow is a luxury you can't afford. It's a fairy tale for people who are okay with mediocrity. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with being the guy who almost did it? The guy who was a legend in his own mind, but a nobody in the real world? If that thought makes you sick to your stomach, good. Use that heat, use that anger, use that disgust to fuel your now. Turn that self-hatred into discipline. Turn that regret into drive. This video is about to end. When the screen goes black, you're gonna have a choice. You can click on another video, get another hit of fake motivation, and tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Or you can put the phone down, stand up, and do the one thing you've been putting off. I don't care how small it is. Write the first line. Run the first mile. Make the first call. Throw away the junk food. Delete the apps that are wasting your life. Just do it now. Because I promise you, when you get to the top of the mountain, the view is amazing, but you'll never see it if you're still standing at the bottom, waiting for tomorrow to give you a lift. Tomorrow is a lie. Today is all you got. Make it count. Get to work. This is the Unspoken Code.